out in Chicago. And before they finish up this series in Chicago, where it's quite chilly this week, they're going to get to see someone that we've known for a long time, as our next guest is tomorrow's starting pitcher for the White Sox. He is a former Terp, and he is Sean Burke, and he's back with us now here on GCR. Sean, it's Glenn back in Baltimore. It's great to catch up with you, man. Thank you for taking the time for us.
Of course. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, man, it's great to chat again. So I'm going to assume that knowing your background as a Massachusetts guy by way of Maryland, the weather this week is not even, like, impacting you whatsoever, is it? Like, you're probably the guy that's making fun of everybody else for how cold they look.
Yeah, it's a little chilly, but I mean, I'm trying to do my best to stay warm. I think tomorrow's supposed to be a little bit better, but
Okay.
honestly, it's better when I'm pitching, not in the dugout. In the dugout, I get more cold because I'm just sitting there.
Right?
But
You're not
I
doing
would
anything.
be all good.
Yeah. What is the okay? Can you walk me through for dumb guys like me that have never done this at this level, right? What is the? We all know that it's cold, but like in our mind, we've all played football. We've all like the juices get flowing. You don't even feel it anymore. What is it like when you're actually playing and it's as frigid, miserably cold as it is this week in Chicago?
Honestly, I think it's a little bit tougher for the position players just because they're standing around a little bit. They have to go hit every 40, 30 minutes, whatever it is. But for a pitcher, I don't think it's too bad. You're kind of moving the whole time. You can go back into the dugout, stay hot, put a jacket on. So it's more just kind of a grip of the ball. Your hands get a little slick when it gets cold out. So just making sure you kind of get the grip on the ball. But other than that, it's not crazy bad as long as you put some layers on. You're warm going out there. So it should be all right tomorrow.
All right. That's not too bad. You now? Will you ever do like the hoodie under the jersey look? Like, is that something you would ever consider doing, or is that sacrilegious or just impractical for baseball?
I mean, I don't mind the look too much, but I think it would just be tough to pitch with a hoodie on underneath. It might restrict some range of motion.
I can understand that. I can completely get it. Sean, I think the last time you and I caught up was right after you had made your debut in 2024. And I know that, like, last year, I have no doubt you would say, hey, I wish it had been better. I wish it had been better for the team. But to establish yourself as a bona fide major league pitcher, as a guy who deserves to be there, how good did that feel? And was there a moment for you where it clicked? Like, this isn't just like a dream or something cool I get to do. I'm meant to do this. I belong here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that last year had some ups and downs. I think overall there are a lot of stuff I can take away from last year and a lot of stuff I can put over into my game this year. But I think last year just kind of navigating the everyday life of the big league season and getting used to the schedule and getting used to playing against that caliber of competition every day has been big. Because I think this off season, looking back, I go back and I'll look at some stuff I did last year that I can improve on, and just kind of get to work on that in the off season. I feel like coming into the spring and throughout the spring into this season, I've been feeling good with kind of the stuff that we've been trying to work on. So I'm excited to keep going this year and see where it takes us.
What were those priorities for you, Sean? Like coming in after going the better part of a full season a year ago. What were the priorities for? Hey, I want 2026 to look like this.
Yeah, I mean a couple of things. I think like pitch wise, just kind of stuff wise, just tweaking the shape of my curveball or my change up in my slider a little bit. My slider shape got a little kind of inconsistent towards the middle part end of last year. So kind of with the new pitching coaches, Zach Wilb and Bobby Hearn, we talked over some stuff, just trying to get some grip adjustments and making sure that slider's doing what I want it to do, and then playing around with the changeup in spring training. Just kind of finding a grip that felt comfortable for me that I could throw in the zone when I wanted to, and playing around with the cutter here now as the season started. So just adding a couple things to my bag there, not really changing too much about how I'm attacking guys overall, but as far as the pitch stuff, that was kind of what I was going to work on, and then just get myself into some better counts. I know last year, like some games that got away from me, it was more either walking guys in a big hit or just falling behind guys, not getting into good counts. So that's been a big focus of mine in spring and then coming to the season. So that's definitely priority number one for me every single time we go out there. I think coaches, everybody's been preaching that this year pretty heavily, like getting into good counts, making sure we're getting ahead of these guys, staying on the attack, and going to the game with that. That is my focus, is trying to attack these guys and make them hit me.
What about like just from the experience factor? Are there guys that now you've seen enough that like, oh, good, I know how I want to attack this guy. I have a sequence of pitches in mind because I've got enough experience going up against him that this is the best way that they can go about getting this dude out.
Yeah, I mean, I think certain guys you see a little bit more than others, and certain guys you have success against more than other guys. And You kind of have your base of what you want to throw to a lineup or throw to certain hitters, but they're kind of making their adjustments as I'm making my adjustments. So you kind of got to read the games, read the season, see how the at bats go, and then obviously you have your plan, but sometimes you got to get off that. So I think it's helpful more just adjusting. I think year one you kind of see what guys do to you and how you're able to get good hitters out, and then when they make their adjustments, what they're hitting off you, and it's kind of just a cat and mouse game of going back and forth of what you're trying to do and what they're trying to do to you, and just trying to stay one step ahead of the hitters.
That's cool, man. Sean Burke, former Terp, now with the Chicago White Sox, getting ready to face the Orioles tomorrow afternoon. He's with us here on GCR. Sean, you guys had the sweep over the Blue Jays this weekend. I know that it has been tough times in Chicago on the whole. Do you start to feel a little bit of the, hey, maybe we're moving in the direction that we need to be moving into? Do you start to feel a bit of that this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think we know that too coming into spring training, just the group we had, and we've been playing together now for a little over a year. This kind of majority of this roster, so we're all trying to individually improve and get to where we need to be for the team to take the next step. But I think there's just more of a confidence in ourselves, and we believe in each other. We like playing with each other, and we're just trying to play hard baseball and show up every day and do our individual stuff to make the team better. And I think that as you look around the locker room, you see guys taking the next step, whether it's a hitter or pitcher, everybody's kind of working to be better, which I think is an encouraging sign. We all care a lot about each other. We all care about winning, and the results may what they be, but at the end of the day, we're definitely getting steps forward to getting this thing back on track.
I know, obviously, that's sort of similar to what the Orioles went through a couple of years ago, right? Do you guys do you talk about it? Is it the type of thing where you walk in and say hey, we demand, we have to be better than this? How do you handle that when that you're not a franchise that's spending the money that the Los Angeles Dodgers are spending, but yet you still have every intention of winning? What are those conversations like?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the field, off the field, in the off season, just having conversations with our teammates and the coaches and what we expect from each other. And I think this off season is definitely the most I've talked to my teammates.
That's cool.
In general, whether it's about baseball or whether it's about life, whatever it is. But just being around the guys, spending time, and we understand that we all want to be good, and I think that that's kind of the main message from everybody. It's we're trying to help each other out when we can, and we're trying to raise the standard of how we want to play and what we want to do, and I think that's kind of the benchmark we're starting to establish. We're not going to be satisfied with a mediocre season. We all want to go out there and we want to play winning baseball.
I know it's at least a slight advantage because you're right-handed, but how do you go about approaching facing a Pete Alonso?
Yeah, I mean, he's a good hitter. I think that's a big sign for them in the off season, but I think the guys yesterday did a pretty good job attacking him, and at the end of the day, you want to respect a guy like that, but you got to kind of treat him as you don't want to put him on a pedestal. They got a lot of good hitters in that lineup, so like I said, just kind of get ahead of them, attack them with your stuff, and make quality pitches in the zone, and then once you get to those 2 strike counts, make quality pitches to put them away.
I know you're cool and very even keel, but who's the guy that you've struck out or got out in a certain spot so far that you couldn't help yourself? You're like, dude, holy crap, I just did that. Who is the guy that you allowed yourself to maybe celebrate a little bit?
I think probably last year in Anaheim, I struck out Mike Trout twice on both off heaters, and that was someone I've watched growing up. Obviously, one of the best players of this generation, if not all time in this game. So to be up there with him, competing with him, and being able to strike him out, that was pretty cool for me.
Yeah, that doesn't suck. That doesn't suck to be able to say that you did. It's definitely at some point you're going to talk to your grandkids, but you're going to accomplish a lot of things, but you're going to mention in there, oh, and by the way, that included that I got to strike out Mike Trout a few times. That's really 100%. Dope, man. That is really dope. Sean, you have also, I've noticed, I was checking out Instagram earlier, and I saw that, you were hanging out at the Chicago Sky games, ingratiating yourself in Chicago. That part of it, right? Because part of it is just proving that you're a big leaguer in general, but having a home and a place where they're getting to know you and you're kind of growing with, what has that relationship been like with you and sort of finding a community in Chicago?
Yeah, I mean, I love Chicago, honestly. I had never been here until when I got drafted. I came here to do my physical and everything and sign my contract here. But other than that, little weekend there, I'd really never been to Chicago. in my life. And then I got called up here, obviously, in 2024, and was there for about a month, tried to explore the city a little bit. But then I think last year was the first time I really got to spend some good time here in the summer and get to know the city and get to know the fans a little bit. And then, I mean, Chicago's my favorite city in the country. Now that I've been pretty much every single place you can be, between, the big league schedule, minor league baseball, just traveling myself, like, been pretty much everywhere you can go in this country, and Chicago is definitely my favorite city here. So it's been good. I'm glad I get to play in a city I love so much.
Cool.
I'm glad I get to play for fans that are so, invested in this team, win or lose. I think that's the big thing too, is like, obviously we haven't had the success we've wanted to have over the past couple of years, and the fans stick by us. They still care. They're still passionate about our team, and I think they're excited for the future too. And that's another motivating factor. Like, we're trying to play well because we know they care so much, and we want to give them a good product.
That's cool, man. By the way, I also love Chicago. I think it's an awesome place, man.
Yeah.
Like, I've done 4th of July Chicago. Like, they do it right out there, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that is really cool. All right, I want to run this by you because this is just a genuine, like, interest question that I have no idea how this works. And when I say this, I know damn well that when you faced Kobe Mayo in 2024, you weren't trying to hit him, right? It just happens. That's the way the baseball goes.
Yeah.
What is the decorum between, like, pitchers? And is it something that, like, the next time you see the guy, they might, razz you about it. They might come over like, hey, man, you're not gonna throw me inside again, or like, what is that? Is it just, hey, it happened, everybody moves on and never thinks about it again, or is there some like, hey, the next time I see you, I want to go over, hey, I got no bad feelings for you. Like, how does that work between baseball players?
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of depends on the situation. I know we had that little incident with him last year in Baltimore, so
yeah,
for me, I'm gonna throw. I'm not gonna change how I throw based on the hitter of the situation. Like, I'm going to throw inside. I'm going to throw fastballs up, and if it happens to hit him, it hits him. That situation in particular, like, there's nothing said between us. It's just, you go back out there and pitch. I don't think there's anything that needs to be said, and it's not going to change my approach facing him tomorrow if he's in the lineup.
It's just, that's the way it works, right? This is baseball.
Yeah.
Like, you got a job to do, they got a job to do. It really doesn't seem that hard. It feels like everybody else likes to yell about it a lot. Is really what it is, when everybody else just has a job to do. You know how much I love Matt Swope. That's my guy, right? It's been tough, and I know that part of that is just the way the landscape has changed in, like, all of college sports. What would you tell a Maryland baseball fan who's like, come on, man, like, we were doing the NCAA tournament every year around here. What's going on? What would you tell them about what they should know about Coach Swope and, like, your faith that he's going to get this thing figured out?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit of an adjustment for every single college coach now. It's kind of the NIL era and how to compete. And, I think obviously adding the UCLA, the Oregon, USC, all those guys to the Big Ten, it elevates the level of baseball, too, in the conference. So, these first couple of years, it's kind of just adjusting to that. But I think, even before I got there, there was a little bit of a time where they weren't playing as well. And, Coach Bond was able to kind of get the ship right back on track. So, Swope's been there when it's been bad, and Swope's been there when we've been really, really good. So he has the knowledge, and he's got, the talent there to go do it again. I think it's just about kind of getting everybody acclimated to the new, environment in college baseball and getting the right guys on the team, and just kind of building a culture, building a program of winning baseball. And I know Swope knows how to do that, and he's getting the guys right there. So, regardless of how some stuff goes, last year or this year, like, I think they know what they're doing over there. So I wouldn't be too worried. I could see them having success again here very, very soon.
I appreciate that. All right, I got two before I let you go. First, have you, like, what are the rules for you guys as far as challenges are concerned? We haven't seen pitchers do it a lot. Have you done it yet? Are you leaving it up to the catchers? Would you be willing to do it at some point as the season goes on?
For me personally, I probably won't do it.
Okay.
Really ever. I think that at the end of the day, the catcher probably has the best view at it. I think the numbers say so too. I think the catchers are probably the best at it. I think both hitter and pitcher, they get a little emotional that you want to call one way or the other, so you're going to be more apt to challenge it. But I think really the only situation where I challenge it is if it was blatantly obvious, like ball right down the middle, and then in that situation, the catcher's probably challenging it too. So I think maybe the only, like, if there's a pitch thrown and there's a runner stealing and the catcher has to throw down, he doesn't challenge it and the ball's, right down the middle and he misses it. Like, that might be a situation. I think that happened to me last year a couple times where, I throw a pitch in zone, and, like, with the catcher moving and the hitter getting out of the way, there's a little bit of movement and the umpire can't see it as well. So, situation like that, I might challenge it, but I think as far as just normal stuff goes, I'll probably leave that up to the catcher.
Where are you on the line between, like, a lot of pitchers have said, hey, I know it's good, but also I didn't mind manipulating the strike zone that the umpire was giving me before. Where are you with ABS? Everybody's saying it's made the strike zone bigger, though, which I would think would be a good thing for pitchers.
I don't know who's saying that. I don't think it made the strike zone bigger. But, I mean, I think that you'll definitely see more calls kind of favoring the hitters just because, catchers are really, really good at framing and they make stuff look like strikes a lot of the time. And for me personally, like I throw, obviously a lot of fastballs up, and it kind of shrunk the top of the zone for me. So that's another adjustment, just kind of figuring out where the top of the zone is again. The traditional like letters to knees ended up turning into like, ball above the knees to, belly button area. Now I feel like it's even lower than that up top. So just kind of learning about, where the top of the zone is on certain guys, especially with it kind of changing with all the hitters at different heights. Just trying to pitch like that too. I think that's something we're trying to be mindful of as a staff is understanding where the zone is so that we can, start our pitchers in the right spot and get our pitchers to the right spots in general.
Austin Hays showing up this year. I know it was tough to see him go down last night, but a veteran, a guy who, like, to me is like the definition of a baseball player, right? Like that dude just plays baseball. What has he brought to you guys?
He's been awesome, man. I love Hayes. He's been a great dude in the clubhouse. He's been super helpful with some of our younger guys, and just kind of being a calming presence in the dugout and in the clubhouse. He plays super hard. Like you said, he's just a ball player, man. So it's been awesome to have him on the team. I think everybody in there is enjoying having him on the team.
And then is it still PB&J before you start?
Oh, yeah, still PB&J.
What's the go-to? Is it grape? Is it crunchy? What's the go-to? Describe. Is it Uncrustable? What's the play?
I mean, I'll kind of change it up depending on what we have. I had some Uncrustables before. I think my first start of the year I had some Uncrustables before that. But if I can, I'll try to make my own. Grape jelly, normal peanut butter, white bread, kind of just keeping it simple,
Man, I appreciate that. And if it's working, may you do it forever, right? Like other than as you know, as I've told you before, other than for us, we're not going to pretend like we're rooting for you tomorrow. Like we know we love you. We love you, and we greatly appreciate you doing this. I know it's at SM Burke on Instagram. It's still Top Shelf Burke on Twitter as well.
Yeah, still Top Shelf Burke on Twitter.
Sean Burke, so thrilled for all the success you're finding, man. It's awesome to see. As we talked about before, it's still somewhat rare to see Maryland guys get to do it, dude. So it's awesome to see that you're doing it, man. Congratulations. Thank you for hopping on with us today. We really